You've got a big interview coming up, and you want to make sure you knock it out of the park. But if you say the wrong thing, you could end up on the reject pile. So, what if you don't know what those wrong things are? Don't worry, we'll give you the top 10 things to avoid saying during an interview. If you're serious about getting the job, you'll face different interview situations as you move forward in your job search. The interview process can be tricky, like walking through a minefield. If you say the wrong thing, you risk ruining your chances. There are many reasons why people don't get hired, from not having the right motivation to not having enough experience. But often, it's what you say or don't say that puts you in the reject pile. Even something seemingly harmless can cause trouble. If you want to learn more about how to get noticed by recruiters, nail the interview process and land your dream job, hit the subscribe button. We have weekly videos with insider tips that you won't want to miss. Let's talk about things to avoid saying in an interview. First and foremost, asking what the company does. If you've made it to an interview and don't know what the company does, it shows that you're not prepared. Before the interview, they expect you to do some basic research on the company, like what they do, what products they have, their divisions, competitors, and any new technology. This shows that you're interested in the company's mission, vision, and values. Also, check if their core values match yours, because if there's a cultural mismatch, you'll be unhappy and may end up quitting. So, if you show up to the interview asking about the company's basic business, you'll have a tough time convincing them that you're a good fit. The second thing to avoid is asking about the role. They'll give you some information about the position, but they expect you to have read the job description carefully and understand what the position involves. If you ask about the role, it shows that you haven't done enough research before the interview. This usually doesn't make a good first impression. Companies want problem solvers, not someone who needs to be spoon-fed information. If you haven't done any research and need them to explain everything, think about the message that sends. The next thing to avoid asking in an interview is about the hours. If you are an hourly worker, this is okay, but for salaried non-exempt employees interviewing for a professional position, don't ask about the hours. Even if you have valid concerns about work hours, keep it to yourself. The company may think you're a clock watcher, which is not what you want them to think. If you're concerned about the work conditions or hours, find another way to ask without sounding like you avoid work. Ask about the culture or expectations for the first 90 days, or what shift you'll support. But don't ask, how many hours do you expect me to work? It doesn't look good. Another thing to watch out for is asking about promotions. It's okay to want a career path, but if you walk into the interview asking about getting the boss's job, it looks like you're not interested in the current position. Ask about career growth and long-term opportunities instead. Show them that you're excited with the current role and eager to learn about the company. Be mindful of how you phrase the question and make sure it shows your genuine interest in the job you're interviewing for. Additionally, don't ask about salary right away in an interview. They know you want to get paid a fair wage, but asking about it before you even know what the job entails is a turn-off for employers. Let them bring up the topic. If you've made it to the second round of interviews, you've already covered this topic. Don't ask the hiring manager about pay ranges because it shows that you're fishing for a better answer. Let the HR department, TA team, and hiring manager to come together to decide on a fair offer for you. Not answering the salary expectation question is also not recommended. When a recruiter asks about your salary expectations, you need to be ready with an answer. If you say you don't know or ask to think about it, it shows you're not prepared for the interview. Research beforehand what the local market pays for the job you're interviewing for, and have a number in mind. If you don't answer the question or try to dodge it, it'll hurt your chances of moving on to the next round. There are resources online that can help you prepare a good answer for this common question. Avoid talking bad about your previous boss or a company in an interview. It may be tempting to complain about a difficult boss or work situation, but it won't impress the interviewer. They want to see if you're a good fit for their company and the role, not listen to you badmouth your previous experiences. Instead, focus on what you learned and show your enthusiasm for the opportunity they're offering. Another thing to avoid is saying how nervous you are in an interview. It's normal to feel nervous during interviews, but They expect you to take control and show confidence in what you bring to the table. If they sense you're overly nervous, they might ask some easier questions to put you at ease. But at some point, they'll expect you to be confident. If you get to the hiring manager level, they may have less patience for nerves. So it's important to prepare well and know how to sell yourself in an interview. You can also avoid being too casual in an interview. It's okay to loosen up a bit, but don't get too comfortable and use inappropriate language or terms. Remember, you're not at a bar, so keep your conversation professional. Don't use first names unless the interviewer introduces themselves to you that way. Avoid using terms like boss or bro, as it can come across as disrespectful. Stay polished and professional to make a positive impression on an interviewer. The last thing to avoid is not asking questions at the end of an interview. The interviewer will expect you to have a list of thoughtful and intelligent questions about the company culture and how you fit into the organization. Not asking any questions may show a lack of interest or understanding of whether you're a good fit for the company. Be prepared with a list of questions and show that you're interested in the interview process. So, there you have it. There's 10 things to avoid saying in an interviewing setting if you are serious about the job. If you're going through the interview process, it helps to stay ahead of the curve by being prepared for whatever they throw at you. If you wanted to double up on preparations, be sure to check out our related video about how to improve interview skills. This would definitely come in handy. Thank you for joining us today on this video. Happy job hunting, and we'll see you on the next one.